there, my name is Mindy Arnholt, and I am going to show you today how I set up my newborn studio for a wrapped mini session using Cape backdrops. So Cape backdrops are made of this kind of fleece material. They're super soft, and when you get them, they will come wrinkly, but if you just steam them, I just hang it up and steam it, and the wrinkles will come right out. So it's super soft, and they're really easy to use. So I'm going to show you how I set up 5 different sets before my little girl comes in today, and we will get started now. So I have 2 ways that I like to use these. One, I have these rubber floor mats that I'll flip over, and the reason I like this is because when you spread it out, the fabric kind of clings to the rubber. It's not necessary. I can also do it on the hardwood floor of the studio, which I'm going to do with several. But see how easy this just smooths out? It's kind of a cheater way to keep them smooth for me. So this is a pink one, as you can tell, and it has these really beautiful brush strokes and detail. So I love photographing this one. I am going to set it up with a little bed. And because it's October, I'm actually going to use some pumpkins as well. So I would just place the bed right here, and then I'm going to use a small bean up under this, which is just like a soft kind of pillowy thing I have. And then I'm going to use this layer that matches the backdrop really well. I'm going to leave a little bit of the raw edge out, and then just kind of pull it all in. It does not need to be perfect. In fact, I kind of like it messy, with a little bit coming out off the sides. And then baby's gonna get wrapped up in this soft pink knitted wrap. So I'll leave it right there. And then depending on the time of year, I love using silk flowers, but I am gonna use these cute little pink pumpkins today too. And there's not really a wrong way to do this. I'll be shooting it from the top, so we just want it to look good from this angle for the most part. Oh, and I do like to leave the stems on my flowers. I used to pull off just the flower part, but there are times that I like to put them in a can or in a vase or something behind, a pail or a bucket. So now, if I can hide the stems, I'll just slip them under. And the other nice thing about silk flowers is that you can kind of bend them. And sometimes they do what you want them to do. All right. So that's pretty cute. And then I will be shooting it from above, going this way. And we'll see what it looks like with baby in a few minutes. So this is my current favorite backdrop. I like the purple, but I also love all the detail on it. It's got these really pretty watercolor flowers, and it just works. It's the most simple to set up for me, because it already has so much detail on the backdrop. So really, the only thing I'm gonna do with this, and I'm setting it up on the hardwood, so you can see it's a little bit slipperier. Alright, perfect. And the only thing I'm going to do with this guy, I'm going to use this, again, I kind of use it in every prop. I'm going to set it up so that the back corner has the watercolor detail, because this will be the direction I'm shooting in. And I put a weight in the bottom of the bucket. So this is just full of rice. And then I put this guy right here, so baby is going to lean back against it. And then I'll throw a purple sheepskin right in here. Baby will have a little purple headband and a purple wrap. So I mostly match the wraps to the headbands. So as long as those two go well together, and then the rest of it's all in the same kind of color palette, I'm happy. So I'll leave this set up, and when she gets here, we'll just wrap her up in there, And I'll re-smooth the bottom before she gets here, because I'm kind of neurotic about having them all be smooth. So this is a really neutral one, and I think I'm actually going to do 2 sets on it. So again, I'm going to spread it out. I did end up putting down another floor. I feel like they just stick a little bit better. My floors are a little bit slippery, so probably slipperier than most studio floors. So this just works better for me, but you definitely don't need to do that. All right. So for this one, I'm going to use a crate. And something that I often do is throw, I kind of like the more layers the better, like the more texture. So I'm going to throw a jute layer down first for this one. And then put this crate right on top. Perfect. And then I have a metal pail that fits right in here. I'm going to use this pail that I already have some neutral toned fall colored flowers in. And this is something that I'm going to be shooting from above. So the focal point will be on baby. So these are just going to be really soft and kind of extra. But I also wanted to create a set here with some more deeper fall colors. And so in that case, like I said, I do keep my stems on when I can. So I'm just going to place these flowers all around the crate. So I'm not going to put another tall bin here, or pail here, but I am going to put some eucalyptus in, just to give it some green. This guy might be a little too big. We'll do these guys. All right. And then I often use the handle for the pail to hold some of the flowers up like this. So that just gives a little more visual interest towards baby. And because we're shooting from above, it's important to have the interest kind of go all the way around the crate. So we'll just place a few of these guys in here. Put him right there. All right. And then I'm going to steal this guy from here. This is the one thing that I kind of transition from every bucket. And I'll put it right here and then fill this with 2 layers. One's just an antique lace that I'm going to put in first. This will give baby enough height here because we're doing 2 kind of large wraps. And then this one's going to come around this piece here. And when she gets here and I can kind of assess how big she is, because sometimes babies are itty bitty and you have to put more layers in, I will adjust accordingly. But I like how this is looking. I'm going to pull some of this lace up on this side too. Probably even bring it over a little bit of the orange. Good. And then she's going to be wrapped in the same color. And we're going to use this cute little headband that I actually made out of some of my friend's weeds that were drying in her yard. And I'm happy with this set. So we're going to use this backdrop for 2 different sets. This is another color that I love. It's a dark blue. And I personally love blue with baby girls. So I'm going to use this. It's kind of a midnight inky blue. And you can see that there's a difference in the color. Again, actually, you know what? Let me show you why I love these backdrops so much. You can fold them up. I don't know how many of you have had the kind that you have to roll but these just fold up about this size is how they fit in my studio. and I can get all of this variation with a stack this tall of backdrops. So they take up so little space, and I love that. All right, whoops. So I'm gonna go ahead, spread him back out. And I use the 3x5 size. It's perfect for my studio. It lets me create 6 sets, which I only really do for wrapped sessions like this, but it's good for me, that size. They do make bigger ones that you can use for your wall as well. All right, so this is gonna be a little bed setup. I kind of pulled everything together beforehand. A lot of times I'll pull multiple wraps to decide what I like when it all comes together. So this little bed, I'm just gonna do exactly what I do with like half of the others and slip these flowers right under and then just kind of bend them up. So they're facing up. Again, I'm gonna be shooting this from above, although I will probably get some variation on this one with how I shoot it. So I was planning to use this royally blue guy, but I'm kind of thinking I like it just with these berries and the teal. So I'm going to keep going. Again, I'm going to steal my poser here. This is just something that I kind of sewed together because I'd seen them online and I figured I could just make one that would work for me and work for the size of all of my props. So I'm going to put this little skin right here. I have a pillow that I like for this one, and this is the wrap that goes really well with that. Although, if I was going to use a lighter blue, this might give a little bit more variation. So, and she'll have a headband. We're probably going to go with a different one than I thought. I like this one better for this set. And now we've got another little set. We'll wrap baby up in blue when she gets here, and it's ready to go. Perfect. So I was only going to show you 5 setups, but then I decided I have to do 6 because I really love this backdrop too. So this is one that I use a lot. Sorry, we'll put it right here. Because I love the watercolor marks. And if you look close at some of these, you can actually see like droplets of paint coming down. So I love that hand-painted texture, and I just feel like it's really, it's fun to edit. I get a lot of people that ask me if they're digital backdrops when I use these, but they're not. They're all just from Kate. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to use this shallow crate bucket, and again, I will steal this. So having them all set up makes it a little bit easier to get mom and dad in and out, since they usually have just come home from the hospital within the last couple of weeks. So this one I'm going to put a bean right here to support her bottom half. This will be for her top, and then sometimes I put a fur under, but I kind of go back and forth on whether or not I like that or whether I like to just stack them both together in here. But for this one, I do like having multiple furs in here. Good. So that'll be perfect for baby. She's going to get wrapped right up in this color, which matches the backdrop pretty perfectly. And I'm going to put 2 headbands here because both photograph really well with this color. Okay, so the last one that I'm going to show you is kind of a tealy mint green. I do tend to edit this one a little bit more mint than teal. So you're going to notice the props I'm using are in the green family, kind of a sagier green family. But this is another one with awesome little brush details. You can see the little paint drops I was talking about before right here. And then the brush strokes. I just think it's so pretty. Alright, so I'm going to use this basket, and because it's a pretty deep basket, I usually just fill it with a blanket, a soft blanket, to bring it to where I want baby to be. But because pink doesn't go with what I'm doing, I'm going to put green on top of that. And this doesn't need to be smooth. This is just where she's going to go. And then I'll put this prettier little bump blanket around. This is the first time I haven't needed to steal my backdrop. She's actually going to be laying flat on this one, kind of wrapped up, and her head will be facing up. So she'll be wrapped up in this guy, and everything does, like I said before, it's all in the same color family, just with a little bit of variation. So this is the bow. It matches the backdrop, the wrap pretty perfectly. So just for a little bit more visual interest, and because I kind of do like to dress up the bottom of my sets, I'm going to stick a few flowers around the basket. Again, leaving their stems on helps me in placing them, and it also gives me more variety with them later. So this is how I get set up before a client comes in for a wrapped mini session. So generally they are picking between 3 and 6 different sets. This one wanted 5, but we're giving her 6 because I got too excited while I was making this. But yeah, we have all of it set up before they get here. Really the only thing that needs to happen, baby will be wrapped up the whole time, so there's less a chance that she's going to get upset, cold, hungry. We'll be able to flow through this pretty quickly, and then get her in and out. And so they'll have a lot of variety for their gallery. Everything fits with the color scheme that they gave me in their questionnaire, and she'll be comfy and cozy the whole time. So again, I'm Mindy Arnholt with Mindy Arnholt Photography, and I hope this was helpful.